Kettlebell as a certified kettlebell instructor, and today I'm going to be demonstrating the kettlebell snatch. So, the snatch is a ballistic, powerful, explosive move, just like the kettlebell swing, the clean, the high pull, and finally the snatch. It's also a hip hinge movement pattern, meaning bum back first, slight bend in the knees, core is tight, glutes are tight. You're using your lower body muscles, especially the glutes as well, in order to propel the bell up. If you are not proficient with the kettlebell swing, clean and high pull, I would not recommend trying the snatch at this point until you prove to be very efficient and very safe in executing those other exercises. The kettlebell snatch is quite advanced. It's also overhead, which means you need to be able to have very good mobility in your shoulders and in your thoracic spine, and also a lot of core strength in order to be able to keep this in line so that the humerus bone, top of your shoulder, is in the glenoid socket and it stays packed down there and it's not wavering overhead. You would start with a lighter weight, preferably as well, maybe an 8 kilo, and get the movement pattern down properly first. As well, I would highly recommend that you test yourself in terms of knowing whether, in fact, you do have that strong connection and the mobility by seeing if you are able to have mobile shoulders using some kind of a band, yoga band or strap, so that you can have full range of motion. And also a real trick that I like to use as well in assessment, but also for warm-ups, is to be able to hold the bell up overhead for at least 30 to 45 seconds, preferably even moving, so either marching in place if you don't have a lot of space, or marching around your yard, outside, going for a walk, and making sure that your glutes are tight, a little bit of a posterior tilt, core is turned on, shoulder packed down, eye of the elbow beside the ear. And you march around, you hold the bell, and as you can see, my wrist is straight, and the handle, the horn of the bell, is resting in the crook of my thumb. So I don't even have my grip tight at the top here. It's nice and relaxed, and it's not going to go anywhere. And I want to be able to do this proficiently and safely, and progressing with other types of shoulder presses, not just the overhead hold, but also a military press, strict military press, which is without using any lower body at all, and being able to do that proficiently several reps with the weight that you've considered using for your kettlebell snatch, and then progressing to other overhead presses while going down on the ground, coming back up, and even forming something where you're internally and externally rotating your shoulder, corkscrewing it, before you would attempt anything such as the ballistic, powerful, explosive kettlebell snatch. So once you feel confident with all those sort of prerequisites, then I would recommend that you start with, again, a lighter weight, and you're taking the very similar specific types of movement patterns that you would with your clean, of course, a hinge, but you're also taming the arc. So whereas in a single arm swing, you're going out into into that arc, with the clean, you're zipping it up. So big back swing, but your thumb is zipping it up to the midline of your body, and you're also inserting the hand into the handle. What I mean by inserting is when you start holding the kettlebell here at the bottom on the ground, the handle is parallel to you. Your hand is flat, and then you bring the thumb in to the groin, big backswing, and as you're cleaning, you're zipping it up, and you insert and punch your hand into the handle to insert it. It's a very definitive, very specific move with lots of timing involved, And the same thing goes with the snatch. So you're still taming the arc, and you're punching it now at the top overhead instead of here around the midline. These hip snaps to help propel. Lower body muscles are helping you. Big backswing for there for momentum, for getting the bell up. And then you punch at the top, breathing out, weights in the heels, core is tight, using my free hand for timing, momentum, and then back to the rack before placing it down. If you are nervous about letting the bell drop from here all the way back through the legs because you feel maybe not quite confident enough, or because you're afraid you're going to hit yourself, I would recommend doing the half snatch first. So getting it up off the sling, punching it up overhead, but then going to the rack position. So knuckles under chin, elbows down. And that way you've got a chance to reset at that position, then control the backswing and back up. So half snatch to the rack here, back down, punch it up, rack, big backswing, punch it up, rack, big backswing. And hopefully some of those tips will be helpful for you when you're learning to do the snatch. Timing is pretty critical, just like the clean, and it's a technical move, so you need to be very aware of where the bell is. So proprioception, where the bell is, even though if you're not necessarily looking up here as you punch it up, you have to be aware that, again, you have a strong column with your wrist, your elbow, and your shoulder packed down into that big glenoid socket. And it also takes a lot of strength here for your lats, not just your shoulders, but your lats, your scapular. Again, like I said, you have to have a lot of thoracic mobility here. So I would do lots of warm-ups that involve your shoulders, your thoracic spine, as well, obviously, as stretching out your big muscle groups down here. Hopefully that helps. Again, I'm Beth of Beth's Bells, and I'm a certified kettlebell instructor. And